4. Hey, everybody, the lecture hall doors are open. Get out of that quad. Come on in here. Salem University back in session. It's me, Matt. Hi. I've got my studious cap on. I'm ready to learn all about Days of Our Lives. You know, the things that have happened this week. I've got another classmate with me this week. Introduce yourself, Ma.
Yeah.
We'll figure out the flow to the intro to this thing. And of course, we have Angela, the teacher, the expert of Days of Our Lives.
Professor.
The professor. Professor Angela.
Yes.
Here to grace us with her knowledge, her wisdom, her experience, her first-hand knowledge, as she has plucked some of this information directly from the brains that have created it, acted it, so on and so forth. The closest thing that I can call. I don't know how to finish that. So we're just going to move on. It's early. You know, it's 9 a.m. for me over here in California. Yeah. I'm not used to waking up like this and doing this so early.
Well, it's noon in Boston, so we're kind of been up for a while. Yeah. We're closer to bedtime.
Well, we got more people here. Jeannie's here as well. Jakarius. Hey, Jakarius. Kaiwan. Good morning, Kaiwan. Hello, everybody. You know, I don't know if Sammy's going to come up today. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what she may or may not be connected to what happened this week. But on the syllabus,
I've not seen Sammy on there yet.
Oh,
Sammy was not on. So you guys, I watched Days for 2 solid weeks now. Sammy, I did not see. I would recognize her because I know her from The Biggest Loser.
Yes. Yeah, she's not on right now. She's become recurring.
Doesn't she come in and out of that show a lot?
Mm-hmm.
So a big part-timer. She's the Aunt Stella of Days of Our Lives.
Yes. She swings into town to cause some problems and then
scampers off.
Yeah.
Doesn't even announce her exit. She's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I don't know. Maybe she
was. Was she more like Aunt Stella, like in your business? Like that?
Oh, she's not.
She
she doesn't have time to be anybody else's business. She's still got so much business of her own going on.
Okay. Oh, he's turning the.
Her own fires to fight.
Yeah.
She's got her cauldron and it's just bubbling. She's constantly mixing it around in Salem. Yes. It's Salem. I have to make which references, right?
Yes, although it is Salem, Chicago, not Massachusetts. Salem, Illinois. Chicago's not a state.
You know,
Salem, Illinois. Not
the power of Salem travels everywhere you go.
Yes.
Where was Passions set?
Passions was a New England town.
Okay.
That was, I think, was supposed to be
soaps in New England.
I don't remember if Passions actually had a real town name or if it was a Port Charles kind of place. I think it was like the Port Charles thing, but they were in a New England town.
Good morning, George. Good morning, Kelly. Kelly says that Allison does a lot of Hallmark movies. I imagine they're talking about the actress who plays Sammy.
Yes, Allie Sweeney.
Sweeney.
Oh, see, I don't know. I don't know. That name sounds familiar to me, though.
Yep.
But on the syllabus
she has a whole
today,
series she does with Cameron Matheson.
Oh, okay. Is it the Baker Time Mysteries?
Yes.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
And they're the same character in every movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 of them, and they just were filming the newest one.
When are they going to do like the Hallmark Cinematic Universe, where they do crossovers of these franchises of like movies that have gone 6 or 7? And then they do like the Baker Time Mystery in the past, where they meet the prince that came to the future and fell in love with the lady during Christmas time, you know?
You should absolutely pitch that to Hallmark. They'd probably love it.
Okay, I'm going to get started writing. Do I need to write a full script first, or can I just pitch it?
I don't know.
Let's work on this together, Angela, off air.
Anyway. Yes, I'll
because I can already blend the 2 Hallmark movies that I watched together. I can already do it. There was one about a dude who took a picture of a lady and they fell in love. And then there was another one about a person who put an amulet on a statue and he became a real man. Anyway, that's not Days of Our Lives. That's not what's on the syllabus today. What's on the syllabus today is we've got Rarick with 2 babies. Sloan is freaked out about it. She's panicking over the possibility of old Greg Vaughn finding out that 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 he did the ditty in succession with 2 ladies and wasn't safe about it.
Well, in Eric's defense, when he had sex with Nicole, they were under the influence of the drugged biscuits.
The
And
drugged
hallucinating.
biscuits. I do remember them mentioning the
Yes.
drug biscuits 2 weeks ago.
Yes. So they were not in their right minds, which is why they,
Ooh.
reverted back to their past and had sex together.
I
So
see.
it wasn't really their fault.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
which one is which of the 2 pregnant one? Okay, who's Ponytail? What's her name?
That's Nicole.
That's Nicole.
And her and Eric have been on and off for decades. They're like the true love soulmates, but can't ever make it work kind of thing.
And his last name is Brady?
Yep.
Okay.
He's actually Sammy's twin brother.
Oh,
there's the Sammy connection. Hey,
Yes.
you got it,
Eric
Kaiwan.
and Sammy Brady.
Eric and Sammy Brady are twins. Yes.
Are they related to the Brady, like the Brady Bunch? Have they ever done that? Have they linked that together? Are they going to keep on dancing?
Well, they are Marlena's. They're Marlena's kids with Roman.
Gosh, I never even thought about Marlena's children on this dang show.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Marlena's mom. Mm-hmm.
See, look, I love the lights going on in my mom's head while she's learning all this stuff. Like, she's having so much fun talking about it. I love it.
I'm excited watching people discover a new soap opera because I love soap operas. I watch all of them and I just love them all for their own things and hate things about each of them. But soap operas are wonderful.
They are super fun. And what's great about Days of Our Lives is the presentation of the stories makes it so you're able to digest them in such a way where you kind of figure out what's going on and you get a little bit of that development before they put it off to the side and come up with something new. So over the last 3 weeks, I've been introduced and seen the development of I don't even know what to call a prominent storyline on Days because they all seem to be equally important to the airtime.
And it seems like perhaps storyline moves a little quicker over here than what I'm used to.
Yes, Days does better with pacing and sharing the wealth as far as, there's no real Sunny and Carly characters that are, massive amounts of airtime and everybody else is below. I don't think anybody hits more than 100 episodes on Days. Even Marlena, stuff like that. Yeah. So Days does really well with spreading it out and spreading out the stories, and everybody gets their bite at the apple. I want to answer a question real quick from the chat, if it's okay. Callie was asking if Sloane is really pregnant or if she's faking it. Sloane is actually pregnant. She is pregnant. Whether that baby sees the light of day or not remains to be seen. I theorize, speculate, whatever, that it won't. But as of right now, Sloane is pregnant and it is Eric's child.
Okay. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, Eric is definitely the daddy of these 2 babies. Yes. And I appreciate you Jakarios out there in the chat. He said he's got our backs when it comes to all of the Days of Our Lives stuff. He loves it. He's passionate about it, and he wants to teach us everything he knows.
Awesome.
So I'm looking forward to these babies honestly being born on the same day. I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to. I know that Angela has a different opinion or a different idea of what might be happening. It's way sadder than 2 beautiful, healthy baby boys or girls or a mix of the both being born on the same day, Halloween night in a full moon thunderstorm or something like that.
Halloween night.
And it's Days of Our Lives. Why not?
You never know.
And then they're just known as the half twins. These characters are the half twins because of circumstance.
Yeah.
I want it. Yeah. Give that to me. But what do you want, Ma? What do you think of this thing? I'm already sad with what Angela told me. I'm gonna make her go last.
Well, why does he want? Okay, what happened to him that he desperately wants to be a dad so bad?
Well, Eric has had bad luck in the woman department.
Okay.
And he sorry, he wants to be a father. He has for a long, long time, and it just hasn't worked out for many reasons. And there was actually a very long period of time where Eric was actually a priest too. So
he was a priest? Oh, wow.
So there were no possibilities of any babies. It was it's the days of our lives. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes that's just the answer. And Nicole has had a lot of problems. She's had many miscarriages. She had problems carrying to term.
Now, they alluded to that a little bit this week about her problematic pregnancies and losing babies.
Yes.
Okay.
And then a little while back, Eric was involved with that cop Jada, who's seeing Rafe now. But they were involved, and Jada got pregnant.
They did the nasty this week together, Ma.
Who?
Yes.
Rafe and Jada.
Oh, yeah.
Rafe is the 50-year-old that has the coloring of a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
So, but Jada found out, Jada and Eric broke up, and he had gotten back together with Nicole. And then Jada found out she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a conversation with Nicole, where Nicole was like, you really want to have a baby with a guy you're not with, Jada decided to have an abortion.
Oh.
And she did. And
she did.
and when Eric found out Nicole's involvement, that kind of spelled the end of them this time.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why it was a little weird also with Jada on Friday, finding out that Eric is expecting a child now with Sloan. So that was a little bit of a,
Oh, okay. So that's why she reacted the way she did.
Sloan is freaky deaky freaked out about it, though. All right, she's having nightmares about.
Yeah,
she is
about the truth. She's stealing tests. She's throwing the name EJ DiMera around like he's gonna kill somebody. Is he gonna kill somebody? Is that why they're afraid of him?
Yeah. Well, EJ is a DiMera. But
the impression I got so far is she's a bad person.
Or at least a desperate person.
Yeah, Sloan is, one of those gray vixen characters. She's not a good girl, but she's not, completely evil, gonna try to rule the world kind of thing. But she's desperately afraid that if Eric finds out that he's the father of Nicole's baby, that she will lose him because of the Eric and Nicole bond. She's going to switch the test results. It's in the promo this week to make it seem again that Eric is not the father.
Right.
But yeah, she's freaking out. Absolutely. And she's also freaking out because when Nicole wasn't sure who the child belonged to, she didn't tell EJ or Eric that she was pregnant. She wanted to get the paternity test first. Sloan found out she was pregnant, and Sloan had known she had slept with Eric because she had walked in on them.
Of course, because they don't close doors in Salem.
Right. Sloan Sloan told Nicole she would help her get the cheek swab from Eric because he was a heavy sleeper. But when it was time to swab the cheek, Sloan swabbed her own.
And it was like it doesn't match because it's not his.
Right. So then it was like Eric could be the father, but we didn't know for sure that he was until EJ's genetic testing this week said that he was not.
There was no genetic match.
So now all hope is lost for Sloan.
We can't figure it out. We don't know this kid's going to be sick from this guy because they're not related. That's what the test results said. In layman terms, for people who quite maybe didn't understand, like me, I had to look it up. So, I'm kidding, I didn't. Anyway, wow, it's so deep. There's so much has led to this. So Eric's a prominent character. I mean, he was the guy that was central featured in the one episode that I watched a year ago. It might have even been about him being sad over this whole abortion thing.
Possibly.
For all I know.
Yeah. Eric is a major legacy character.
Well, he's super handsome.
Popular couple.
I remember that young man from General Hospital. I remember that young man from Charmed. It's just
You know who used to play him? Jensen Ackles.
Oh, really?
Of Supernatural fame
yeah,
was Eric Brady. Way back in the day when Eric and Nicole were first a thing.
He's a Texan.
So has Eric Brady been on the show since childhood?
Since birth. Him and Sammy were,
And has like Greg Vaughn has played him? Did Greg Vaughn play him before? Go to General Hospital, be lucky, and come back and play him again?
I believe so. Yes, I think Greg Vaughn was on Dave's
It's his
first
home character. It's where he should be.
But
it's like when Patchy left Days to go and be Stefan Cassadine, and then he threw himself off a cliff so he can go back to Salem.
Put his eye patch back on.
Put his eye patch back on. And then, oh no, because last week Angela and we talked about how he also was like, no, I got a glass eye now, punks. And then the fans were like, I don't like it.
Yeah. They like him being Patchy.
You gotta put that eye patch back on.
His nickname, Patch. In the 80s, that's what everybody called him, was Patch. Mm-hmm. Now he's Steve because he's old, but
how come they can't call him Patch still?
Because that's a young man's
Everybody
nickname.
just calls him Steve now. Although him and John have their detective agency called Black Patch. Because John's last name is Black, and then
that's a super cool name.
It is.
See, I marked out over it too. Didn't I? I popped last week too.
Yes. That's a super cool name. Now, this John Black character?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, punk.
Oh my, what?
What? Fact Jack.
Right? He's
Marlena's husband.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He is love, soulmate. They've been.
If he's like Dirty Harry if he wasn't cool.
Oh no, John.
John's very
John
cool.
Black is. Okay. John Black is awesome, but it also his awesomeness can be very humorous too.
I feel like there's a reason why he's had this job for as long as he has. That man has ratings.
Well, I just found, of course I haven't watched the show. I don't have any history. I don't have any feels for it. You know what I mean? I thought he was downright ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it's undeniable. He was pretty ridiculous in that scene confronting Jerry.
But I will tell you, though, him and Marlena still bring the love scenes. And a running theme through their love scenes is strawberries and whipped cream.
Oh.
Somebody sent me a YouTube clip.
Enjoying them off of every inch of that woman's body. And they make that clear without making that clear. Without making it visually clear.
Nasty.
So I
Super
like
gross.
that they.
Oh my God.
It is, but I like that they, show them with love. Show the older couples, still madly in love, and.
I mean, it's great that they still like each other.
Currently, are they split up?
Nope.
No,
they're together right now.
Oh, they had a phone call. They actually, it was actually, I really liked this. I really liked this just little thing that they put into the show when it comes to just how the timeline aligns, is because at the end of Jerry getting confronted by the Black Patch Agency, he picks up the phone because he's going to call Marlena, and he dials and all that kind of stuff, rings, they go away, and then a couple of days later, they're having Marlena talk to Kayla?
Yeah, yep, Patch's wife.
Who's Patchy's wife. So, they're just the best of friends, these couples.
She's the chief of staff, right? Kayla?
No, she's not chief of staff. She's actually, is she? Because she
I saw it on
dead earlier this year.
I saw it on her jacket on her.
Oh, okay, so she has been reinstated because she was dead. So there had been a new chief of staff. So obviously they gave her job back because she was dead earlier this year.
Oh, she was one of the three ladies.
And Marlena and Kate were all dead.
Gotcha. They all went to heaven and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
But anyway, just to finish out the little story here. But they were having the scene, and in that scene, Marlena's phone rings, and it's John, after confronting Jerry, telling her about what's going on. And I thought that little attention to detail when it came to just tying it all together was very nice.
Yes.
It was very nice. So compliments to Days of Our Lives. But it seems as though Marlena solves everything, because in 2 weeks, she has got to the bottom of two people's crazy.
Two people's crazy.
She is the psychiatrist to
the stars.
Yeah, just she is gonna fix them up. So,
like Kevin, she's fixing everybody.
Yeah.
But she gets to fix them on screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so last week, she was dealing with Harris Michaels, breaking through his brainwashing. He begged her to go to the loony bin, Mom. Begged her, send me away, lock me up. And she's like, no, I don't think you need that. He's like, I do.
Well,
I'm a danger to the society. You gotta lock me away so I can further my storylines with new actors. And she's like, fine. And so
So is that where he currently is?
He is. He is in Bayview, and we're gonna see him at the end of the week.
Oh, look at that, back already.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I tuned in to an episode about a month ago, and it happened to be the day where he went into the DiMera house with a gun and acted like Jason for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, he was brainwashed. It wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault. And it wasn't Li Shen's fault either.
Well, it was kind of Li Shen's fault, but because despite his denials, he was involved in it. He just wasn't the mastermind.
Gotcha. He was the Shiloh. Get you. Let's see here. I mean, the bad comparison. I don't know why we keep on comparing it to GH, but that's what we do when I hang out with my mom.
Quick little fun side note about Marlena. In May, Deidre Hall and the show celebrated Marlena's 5,000th episode.
That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Well, the chat loves Marlena and John, except for Jakarius. He's not a Jarlena fan, but he respects them. He also says that there's no other psychiatrists but Marlena, so everybody has to go to her to solve everything. So there we go. Marriage counseling, trouble with your children, anger issues, brainwashing, getting to the bottom of the drone.
Killer.
Yep.
She's magical.
She really is.
So like, and then they're like, you know what? I'm never going to kill again because of this conversation.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And became one half of a new Days super couple. What? They're off screen right now. It's Ben and Sierra. And I should probably tell you.
And the fans didn't say, oh man, you're irredeemable. How dare they do this?
Some did.
Okay.
But some were like, we love sin. Because Ben and Sierra, that was there. And the actress who played Sierra didn't want a contract. She just wanted to be recurring. And the show was like, yeah, no. So they let her go. But they loved the actor who played Ben, and he's now Alex.
Wait. So
Robert
the actor is playing a new character?
Only they gave him glasses.
Sometimes.
Yes. The funny part was that when they did the the Bo and Hope arc a couple months ago, they brought Ben back with Sierra. So Robert Scott Wilson had to do double duty for a little while.
While we're talking about muscles here, so I have a genuine question. This is a real question. This is not a joke. Does he or does he not know what he's doing?
Alex?
Yes. Because he keeps on showing up to that door, interrupting like crazy, and he's like, "Nah, bros, no, I'm cool." And then then the lady was like, "Listen, man, you're really interrupting." And he's like, "Really? Really? Oh, I'm
sorry." I don't know that he really knows how bad he's being. He's never really been good with boundaries. Him and Stephanie were involved, and Stephanie is Patch and Kayla's daughter.
And this is the neighbor. This
is
Alex's neighbor. See, I have my one access character. I know who Alex is. So these are Alex's neighbors.
Yes. So the girl and Alex were involved. And he had been a big player. Stephanie was the first girl he really fell for. And he had turned off her phone so they could have alone time without telling her. And she missed the call that her mother was on her deathbed and didn't make it in time.
Such drama.
I kind of felt bad for Alex because obviously that wasn't his intention and he had no idea that call was going to come in. But that spelled the end of Alex and Stephanie. And then, of course, it turned out Kayla wasn't actually dead. But, by then, Stephanie was involved with Chad.
The neighbor.
The guy she lives with. So yes, the other neighbor.
The other neighbor.
So folks move on real quick on days.
There's no time to waste in Salem. You could be dead and then resurrected at any moment.
No one stays dead in Salem.
And so, if you die and then your spouse isn't going to immediately move on. And so, you just got to get it while the iron's hot. That's why everybody's using a matchmaker. That's why everybody's going on these blind dates. Yeah. There's no way to actually meet somebody in Salem unless you're being hooked up by somebody else.
Yes. Yes.
And what it is, it's going to be your polar opposite. So.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm drawn in with the ongoing saga of these neighbors, especially since a couple of weeks ago. Apparently, there's no space in Salem. It's a full town.
Yeah, poor Brady still has to live at home with his parents. He can't find an apartment for him and his daughter. Everybody else keeps getting there first.
How about we just section off a part of the DiMera mansion? Create several properties. Because it seems as though it might be land hoarding a little bit in Salem, especially if there's such a high demand. Speaking of, that house is so large that you can actually plan, purchase everything for, invite people to a wedding at the same place at the same time, and both parties don't know about it.
Right?
I think that house is a little too big.
I think that house is, it's got to be grandiose, right? Let's understand that wedding. Okay. Nobody got any friends? There's nobody.
Was that one of the reactions you were
Hospital has way too many characters. Days of Our Lives sometimes tends to go to the other extreme.
Oh.
And when Days of Our Lives casts swell, there'll be something that gets rid of a bunch of them real quick, and then they build them back up again, and then wipe out half the town, and then build them back up again. So we're on the rebuilding cycle now.
That's all right. We'll just put these characters on ice. They'll just come back whenever they're ready.
There was no one there.
Yeah.
It was very distracting to me that there was no one there, and it was very distracting to me that one of the brides decided to dress up like Pocahontas.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Gabby's dress. And Gwen's was pretty, but it was kind of a little plain, but
Oh, they clearly spent no money on these weddings, so it's fine.
Yeah, Days is very low budget as far as, and the way Days
the families
looks now,
in TV land, they spend no money on this wedding.
In a gazillion, before the switch to Peacock, their production value has jumped a gazillion %, and it's still not even that great.
So it basically used to be butcher paper with really good art on it, just taped behind the actors, and now they have real sets.
Yeah. If it's windy, it wasn't even a fan. It was some, a couple stagehands offset going, I just
with a folder.
Exactly. Somebody with shoes on a.
So the wind was never consistent. It was always just.
Well, that's funny.
Yeah, it was, so the production value on Days has gone way, way up, but it still has a way to go.
And because of this lack of production value and dollars being spent, that's why Alex only owns half a shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
And has to share a robe with Chad.
And then in the next day, Chad was wearing a completely different robe. So, I don't know if that was a attention to detail or I don't know, but it was just funny to me. It wasn't the fuzzy one.
I'm a little lost in the characters here. Are we? Okay.
We're talking about muscles.
The guy that is across the hallway that's so damn annoying. What's his name?
Alex.
Okay.
Alex Kyriakis. He is a member of the Kyriakis family. Victor Kyriakis, John Aniston, who passed away last fall. Days of Our Lives shoots about 6 months in advance of airing. So there are times people have started and finished their entire arc on the show before they ever air. So John Aniston passed away. He had been on the show forever and ever and ever. He passed away in real life last November. They're going to be dealing with Victor's death later this month. Will finally be addressed. And a bunch of old characters are coming back for it. It's going to be
a big what
very
to do.
expensive. Yes. So Alex is a Kyriakis, the other rich family in town.
Oh,
Dad is actually a DiMera. And he used to live in the mansion with his kids. With all of them. But he recently moved out because his wife had been murdered there. But yeah.
It's so deep and historical. I just want to keep on talking about the dude who doesn't put a shirt on. I mean, that's just where my head's at. Even though his head looks kind of small. I mean, whatever. Anyway. So he's Kyriakis, which I didn't know how to pronounce before. I was like Caracas. And that's Ned's family. That's what Wally Kurth. He's Justin or something.
Mm-hmm.
He was on last week.
Oh, so he's a Caracas over there.
And ironically, Jane Elliott did a stint on Days of Our Lives. And her character's named Angelica. And her and Justin were lovers and have a child.
And I think this was before they were mother and son on General Hospital.
And on General Hospital, mother and son.
That's a long time ago. A very long time ago.
Yeah, I remember somebody bringing. I think that might have come up while we were at the convention. Honestly, I don't know, or it was just something that Angela told me, and I'm just conflating memories because I'm old and I don't remember things anymore.
Either way.
But there was a story that I heard about Jane Elliott having trouble transitioning that energy from wanting to jump the bones of Wally Kurth's character to being Wally Kurth's character's ma.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so while we're talking about like age differences and stuff, like is it age appropriate? Are they? How much older is Jane Elliott than Wally Kurth? Do we know?
I don't.
Angela's going to find out because if they're like 6 years apart from each other, then we can just stop complaining about how old soap actors are.
I think Jane Elliott's probably in her 70s.
I don't know.
And Wally's probably about my age.
I have no idea. Angela's going to find out for us.
Early 60s.
She's the lead research associate.
Yeah, give me one moment.
For the entire network of the 10th floor. She's going to find out. But in the chat,
I do what I can for you. So Jane Elliott is 76.
76.
76.
Wally is 64.
64. So there's no way that they could actually have been real life mother and son.
Mother and son. Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
So
but 12 years for lovers as adults isn't right.
It's not a big deal.
And I mean, Ned was involved with Monica.
I do remember that.
Yeah, he was.
I do remember that.
For a hot minute back in the day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell us about the most recent inappropriate relationship on the Days of Our Lives. Then, what's the most recent May December you can remember?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know about the most recent, but Nicole had been involved with Victor.
We already covered Brady and Kristen and the fact that he used to be 5 while she was 38.
Brady and Kristen, yeah. And I mean, yeah, she was, involved with his dad when he was a toddler.
Wow. A lot of people went through days before General Hospital. Sorry.
So they sorries the heck out of him, huh?
Yeah.
He got a real bad case of it.
You evidently.
Should I show Mom the picture?
I mean, I think, did you see it? I don't know. It's very blurry. But you may.
Oh,
absolutely.
the picture of them together?
Oh, you watched
when
he
was 5, yeah.
Yes, I saw it. Because I watched you guys last week.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Perfect then.
Well, I'm glad you're on this side of the camera this time.
Oh, thank you.
Nicole and Victor, says Jacarius. I don't know if that was a...
Yeah, there was a big age difference there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jacarius might agree with me that one of the funniest lines John Aniston ever had as Victor was one time Nicole showed up at the house and he answered the door and he said, "Anybody order a hooker?"
I think actually I remember somebody sharing that too.
He had the best one-liners. He really did. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that I missed everything that he had ever done.
Mm-hmm.
That's too bad. Maybe I'll have to go back. I don't know what they have in the library available on Peacock. What
they
he
have
might
a
be up to
couple
in his old age.
years. There might be some things, not tons, because he hasn't worked as much in the last few years. But I think Peacock's going to put more and more days up, more and more seasons, and I think they'll do a lot of flashbacks and retrospective for his.
I like it.
Send off, which will be nice.
Really
popular
popular
nice for
line.
us to see.
Incredibly popular moment. Chat just enjoying the heck out of the memories of Victor.
Mm-hmm.
Asking if
anybody order a hooker. Yep. Yep. It was a great
one. Kristen Storm's on Days of Our Lives before GH. She played the original Belle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who Belle is, but she was the original Belle.
So the girl who was talking to Kristen about custody of Rachel to drop the charges, that is Belle.
Not Kayla.
It's Brady's little half-sister. And Sammy, now when Belle was born, Sammy was very upset. She did not want her mom and John.
Okay.
And she sold baby Belle on the black market. Teenage Sammy sold her baby sister on the black market.
This show does everything. It's got everything. It's got the black market.
Yeah.
It's got devil possessions. It's got double weddings. It's got gay straight dudes.
Like, yes. New York's hottest club is Salem. Okay.
Well, the gay dudes are dirty.
Oh,
they're just dirty.
So great. That story is so
little Leo is dirty. And he isn't qualified to be a best friend to anybody, I don't think, so far. Especially that poor little Gwenny thing. I don't know, is she really, does she not want to see what's obvious? Or is she
it's just so planned?
She's so desperate for love.
And what do I recognize this actress from? I recognize her. Was she on All My Children once? Was she ever?
No.
I'll find out right now. You guys talk about it.
I don't know. Anyway, the two of them, man, they got a big case of the hornies, don't they? I mean, my goodness.
Well, it's one of the great things about Days being on Peacock is they can do more.
Yeah.
And Days also is great with the sex scenes. They actually had a threesome.
Really?
Like maybe a little less than a year ago, yeah.
And who was the threesome? Now I'm curious.
It was
I have to have vision, right?
Chanel, Alex, the haughty, annoying neighbor.
Okay.
Chanel is Paulina's daughter who owns the bakery.
Yeah, that needs to go back to jail.
Yeah, and she was involved with Johnny's twin sister, Allie. They were together, and then they had the threesome with Alex.
Alex rears his gorgeous head again.
Oh, he was, yeah.
I know. I don't know. I mean, who should I have a crush on, Alex or Johnny? I know Johnny's very popular. I haven't seen much of Johnny. I saw him lose a girl.
Yeah.
And I recognize them because I watched Young and the Restless off and on a little bit throughout my life. And I do recognize Leo.
Yep.
From Young and the Restless.
Yep. Yeah, he still does both shows, but he's more on the Days of Our Lives now.
Okay, well, I've seen him a lot in the last 2 weeks of viewing. He's been on a lot of episodes.
You recognize Gwen from The Young and the Restless as Jana Hawks.
Oh, yeah. Her and Leo her and Greg Rickard's character were in love.
Okay, so I must have been watching Young and the Restless at the time.
2006 to 2011, according to
something. I just couldn't place her at all.
Mm-hmm.
She was on for a good 5 years, it seems.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where you recognize her from. I like her. I like her little accent, and I like her little attitude.
I love Gwen.
I think she's great. She's interesting. She doesn't see it yet because it's just not time. And when she does, because Dave's Twitter is like, she's a mean one, Mrs. Grinch. She'll take that money if they just told her what was going on. So I don't know.
She would, but she'll be hurt because she actually thinks this is actually her happily ever after, which she has desperately wanted her whole life. But we'll see what happens. I hope they end up being like a little throuple kind of thing going. They can just share it.
That's a popular thing that people want to see.
Yeah, be sister wives.
How weird.
They're best friends.
I mean, how weird for me, from my perspective, and the things that I want for my life. How weird. But for them, if that makes them happy.
Yeah, exactly.
If that makes them happy.
Yeah. Days is a suspend all disbelief and just enjoy it for the
They're gonna go there,
soapiness
it
that it
Okay,
is.
seems.
so Leo,
Mhm.
Leo, is he bisexual or is he
Nope,
is
Leo
not?
is firmly in the
the
gay camp.
day is
Okay,
long.
Mhm.
okay. I kind of
He has
got that idea, but I wasn't sure.
a gossip column in the newspaper that Gwen runs and owns. He called Lady Whistleblower,
Mhm.
and he
I gotta say,
fully
I will
embraces.
say, I'll give this criticism because I tweeted it out as well.
Mhm.
I thought that this week when Leo was pacing through the hotel room, talking about his gossip column, he's like, from a town that has demon possessions and nobody stays dead and all that kind of stuff. I imagine for longtime fans that was super funny, but for me, I'm like, this was way too meta. This was way too peeling it back, talking through the fourth wall. It was too
Yeah.
much for me. It was too much for me.
Oh, yeah.
But whatever.
You know what I noticed about the show in just they have these long stare tags.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
You know, and other soaps that I've watched too, they have these very long emotional stare tag things for
They
everybody.
do.
It's
Yeah.
it's like the musical number in a musical, but in Soapland, this tag is where we see what the actors or the characters really feeling or thinking, even though the rest of the world can't really perceive this. General Hospital
Right.
just gives us a moment of them going, huh? But it seems as though Days of Our Lives gives them a chance to go, huh? Oh,
Yeah.
and then they move
Mhm.
on.
Days of Our Lives just fully delves into its campy soapiness. It doesn't try to pretend that it's anything else. It's
What's super
we're here
They're
for
awesome,
embracing who they are.
yeah.
Okay.
And
what's great about it too is because
50 some odd years it's working for him.
you get some really super campy
You
stuff
don't
like,
you
oh my
don't wind
gosh.
up the last final four because you suck. Right?
Exactly.
But you know, because you got a spectrum. You got Jack Hay, who was probably the campiest of all camp. And
Mhm.
then you know, there's other sides where like Stefan DiMera seems to be incredibly serious.
Mhm.
You know, uh, I don't know what his deal is. I don't know why he doesn't like Dimitri. I don't know what their history is. Apparently, there's been 2 double weddings, and it didn't work out the last time. Uh,
Well, I can tell you about the last double wedding. Leo was marrying Craig, Chloe's father, and Gwen was marrying Xander, who was
Cameron's
her
dad. I mean, I'm
true
sorry,
love.
that's the wrong show.
No, actually Chloe's boyfriend,
Mm.
ironically. And they all got, Leo and Gwen, got in trouble and got their bad deeds revealed at their double wedding, and it didn't happen, and heartbreak and devastation and
Sadness.
police arrests ensued.
Oh no. Okay, so yeah, it
So
definitely
nobody
didn't
got
work.
married that day.
No one got
Well,
married.
if Leo has
So,
his way, maybe nobody will get married again.
Yeah.
I have something
oh,
to say. I'm desperately in love with Dimitri. We boned for the
Mhm.
first time 3 weeks ago, or 3 days ago, and I can not live my life without him. You don't understand, Gwenny. You just don't understand the power of our hearts. I know that you want to be in love, but I fell in love first and more powerful.
Yeah.
It's what I need, Gwenny. You can go back to England.
Yeah.
Get on out of here with Stefan's wife, because she's leaving too or something.
Yes. Yep.
She gonna get a car
Yeah,
bomb? I don't know. I just assume it's gonna be a car bomb because this is the Alcazars, right?
I don't know, because I thought they recently a casting call went out for a character that sounds suspiciously like Gabby.
Okay, all right, all right, all right. Do you think this person has just decided to move on from the show because they're tired
Oh
of the
yeah, she
BS?
absolutely had. She said that she was moving on for her career stuff,
Okay,
and
because
I believe her.
we
I
haven't
don't think
talked
it had
we
anything
haven't
really
talked
to do
about it
with
at all in this podcast because I don't really know what to say about it. We talked about it a little bit
Yeah.
yesterday when we were covering all of the Lisa Ann Walter stuff on our special little chit chat.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the stuff that's going on with Albert Allar and you know, investigations and accusations and production shutdowns while they figure all that out, I'm brand new to this thing. I don't know who this man is. I don't know who these people are. So it's really difficult for me to comment.
Bottom line, they paused production. It'll be paused for, I'm sure, less than 2 weeks, which Days can afford because, as I said, they shoot 6 months in advance. So they're fine. It'll be paused for a couple weeks. And the reason it's paused is they're replacing him. They're not going to make the announcement until they have somebody locked in place. I know a lot of people think it's going to be Joe Farron-Phelps. I don't think so, but you never know. I'm hoping not. I would love a woman. I just not that one. But we'll see what happens. There will be a new executive producer at the end of the day. But days and life will go on.
I've always figured that was the case, and we talked about it again. Ma and I did a little bit yesterday. I'm sure you remember, Ma. It was just yesterday. But when it comes down to it, there's been a lot of like calls for, big entities to make grandiose statements and call for action and make specific requests and requirements and call for boycotts and organize in some sort of big political fashion. And just things like that just aren't going to manifest in any sort of like big professional level because things are just too sensitive and there's things that need to move forward. There's secrets, quote unquote, that still need to be kept, confidentialities that are still in play. And also, we don't want to put victims on blast if they don't want to be, put a spotlight over this thing. And when it comes down to it, Ma and I talked about it again yesterday. You can get all the details there. You can't create a power vacuum either. You have to know what's going on. You have to pick the right move for your show going forward because you can't you can't be in a position where nobody's making choices.
Right.
So, anyway, that's my statement, at least.
Yeah. Days of Our Lives. How did Days of Our Lives get so far ahead? That's a lot. 6 months is a lot.
They've done 6 months ahead for a long time.
It's just always been that way, then.
Yeah, I don't remember when it started or how they even got there.
Because shoot, COVID wasn't enough time to get 6 months ahead, and actually COVID cut that 6 months down. So to get back up to that, they must have had to go on just a filming frenzy to get back up to 6 months.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's a good question for somebody that like works for the show. So someday when we have a guest on here, which I'm sure we'll be able to secure because Angela's very famous.
Well, even if we can't get anyone on, I can shoot an email too. I have the emails of a couple of the producers, so I can shoot them.
We got a direct line when it comes to Days of Our Lives. We can get some real answers, not just make everything up.
But making it up is so much more fun.
Well, what's great about what I've noticed is that when we make something up that isn't about the plot, we always, when we make something about the plot, it never happens the way that we make it up. But when it comes to like why something's happened, when it comes to what the result of some sort of real life situation might be, we're often correct. And so that's validating for me. They started to tape 7 to 8 shows a week from 5, says Jeannie. So they started to do a couple of episodes extra a week, according to her. So if we're going to take that random thing, but Jeannie comes off to me like a big Days fan and expert. So I'm gonna take that's fact. I'm going to take that as a solid fact, irrefutable. Nobody tweet me and tell me I'm wrong. Let's see here. The Twitter Wars, oh my God. Oh my goodness. Just go watch that video. We don't need to get back into it again today. The dude who slept with Leo, says Kelly, really doesn't want to get married to a woman. He just wants to jump Leo's bones again. I don't know what the deal is with Dimitri because to me, honestly, he still seemed pretty convincing when he was telling Kristen that he was just trying to keep Leo quiet.
Yeah, I think it'll shake out that Dimitri's bi, not gay. Because he's had lots of sex with Gwen, and she's really enjoyed it. So
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So I think that it'll shake out, and I think they'll end up.
He's got a magic unit, everybody. Made of pure magic. Enough to be saved in the phone as an MP. Now this is an inside joke that Leo has squirreled his way into between Gwen and Dimitri. So if Gwen ever finds out what MP really means, that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
She doesn't know MP could mean what it really means. It could mean Martin Peterson for all she knows, But I don't know. I like that dynamic. I actually like all of the dynamics. I think they do a really good job when it comes to these character pairings. I can already see all kinds of just interest developing inside me when it comes to Lee and Trask. I don't know anything about these two people at all, but I'm interested in seeing where they go together.
They're non-adversarial, bad guy and DA thing is new. And I'm loving it. I think it's going to be fun. And there's shoes hanging over their head because Lee actually was involved with what happened with Stefan. So there is that shoe, but I really like them.
I think they were fun. I think that it was great that they actually genuinely liked each other. And if it wasn't for Melinda Trask, if it wasn't for her trying to record that last bit of the conversation, it could have been a completely different night.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh yeah, it's fun.
But then Alex winds up going on that date with Trask, and it just really doesn't work out for him at all, because she just doesn't really enjoy his presentation and things very much. There's just something about the way that he brings dramatic flair to what he's trying to say. Just really isn't her speed and her style, and she just really isn't into it. What do you think?
Yeah, and also talking about all of his therapy and everything like that. Yeah, he's a dumpster fire.
Really, it's going on your first date and talking immediately about all of your tragic relationships up to that point. It's just about.
You might be a teenage boy, actually.
Yeah.
He could be 19 for all I know. Just rich and inexperienced, young and stupid. What's the worst thing you can do? Give a young person a crap ton of money.
Yep.
They will ruin their lives.
Is that he's an entitled, spoiled, rich kid who, has had women falling at his feet all the time, and never really been told no, and yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh goodness! Don't worry, Kelly. I'm not worried about pissing people off.
One thing I have to talk about with you guys, because I have enjoyed it. This crazy Whitley person.
Oh,
what's going on
with this
herself. Crazy Whitley person?
Whitley. Crazy Nurse Whitley burned down her family on accident.
Yeah.
And what sitcom was she on in the 90s?
Living Single, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was on Living Single.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with Queen Latifah.
Mm-hmm. Kim Cole.
Mm-hmm. I recognized her.
Yep.
But
she's famous for the curly hair.
Quite sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's great. It's a short arc. She's going to Bayview. But she what was I gonna say? Her entire backstory is new. We had never heard any of this before. It was all
so we learned
new.
Why she was crazy this week.
Yeah.
And why is she crazy?
She accidentally left a heater on that was leaking in her old home or something, and it wound up killing her husband and her cats.
Yeah, the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, whatever one it is.
Oh, so her husband was in there and all her kitty cats.
So you know how she was trying to gas herself.
That's why she got so many cats around her.
Yeah.
And she had gone for counseling with Marlena after the incident. But Marlena at the time was possessed by the devil. Because this is when Marlena was possessed by the devil, apparently, a little while back. And didn't help her process her grief, but did keep detailed notes about their sessions so that Marlena now.
So she's trying to just make things right, Marlena is.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel so guilty.
So the devil didn't make her do it. The devil just didn't allow her to process her grief, which helped her go crazy. Yeah.
And why did she want, so she was kidnapping Abe, trying to replace her husband that passed away?
Pretty much.
Originally, when she took Abe out of the hospital, because Abe was in the hospital because he had been bashed over the head with a rolling pin by a bad guy who was also in the hospital.
A rolling pin.
So Whitley's thing was, I'm going to keep you safe from this psychopath.
Oh,
but yeah, the crazy started going, and he didn't know who he was, didn't recognize his wife, thought she was his wife, and it kind of flipped a switch.
She's like, yes, I am.
Flipped the crazy full on.
And that's why she put on a Paulina wig.
No, that was her hair. That's how they had her hair.
Oh, that's how they had. See, I thought she was kind of like trying to impersonate her.
No, they
had the same exact hair. I thought, well, maybe she
No, that was her hair, which is how Abe kind of confused her for.
Oh, okay.
Can we give Kim Cole's Performer of the Week, though? Like, because she really was able to, in those sessions with Marlena, make me incredibly sympathetic toward Crazy Nurse Whitley.
Absolutely. We named Kim Cole's our Performer of the Week from Soap Opera News because she was just fabulous with
the
reality.
sympathy that she was able to just pull out of at least from me as the audience member, was head and shoulders just amazing. I'm really happy to have seen that, and I'm really happy to have seen a little bit of the build up to the climax of the story, so I can really have appreciated everything that it was for. So awesome.
Yeah.
That's where I got the idea that Days moves along storyline. Was watching this in the last 2 weeks because it seemed to travel pretty quick.
Oh yeah, this whole thing has been a couple months. And it's funny because Days fans are used to the fast pace and they've been going, please wrap this up. It's going forever. I'm just like, oh no,
honey, this seemed to be perfect.
You don't know going forever.
You really don't until you have, Maxie being pregnant for a solid 14 months. You don't know forever. Oh man, it really was a very good week on Days of Our Lives. I enjoyed their presentations. I enjoyed everything that I learned. I like what's coming up. I'm excited about what's coming up. Like, so in comparison to the other show that we cover, and we're doing that at 11 a.m. There's a little ad right there in the upper corner. When it comes to General Hospital versus Days of Our Lives, just totally different shows from each other. Sincerely, a completely different experience. It's still a soap opera, absolutely still a soap opera, but nowhere near the same in any sort of approach. I don't even know how we can call these shows in competition with each other because of how different that they are.
So, like a General Hospital, the base of the base especially used to be the hospital. Okay, and Young and the Restless is business. So what is Days? What is it? Is it family? Is that the anchor of it?
Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
The big families,
so really
and they have
all my children.
all have their side businesses and stuff like that. But Days really is very, very character based and family based. Their families are very, very strong units, and
so there's the Brady's, the Caracas, the DiMeras. Is there another big family?
Those are really the big three that others kind of come off of. I mean, there are other ones like, Lee Shin and his sister and his father is like an ancillary character. They're like a smaller family, and, Abe's family, the Carvers, and stuff like that. But yeah.
And how many kids does Abe have?
Abe has Lonnie, Brandon, Theo, and then Chanel is his stepdaughter. So he has 3.
And Paulina just has Chanel?
No, Paulina is Chanel's mother and Lonnie's mother. So Paulina and Abe had Lonnie together.
Okay. I thought somebody in the chat said that Lonnie was adopted.
A long time ago. But he didn't know that he was Lonnie's father until she came to town as an adult.
Have Paulina and Abe broken up and got together 100 times? Or did they have like a very, something 20 years ago and now they're rekindled?
Yeah, they had a thing a bazillion years ago off screen that we didn't know until, yeah.
Oh,
Is James Reynolds is Abe?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and he used to be a musician, right? We talked about that last week.
No, he did not.
That somebody else?
Thought he used to be in the Commodores, but he wasn't in the Commodores. No.
I don't know nothing about anything. I got a terrible.
It's okay. We covered that because somebody was like, "I think he was in the Commodores, but he wasn't." In the
that was a different Reynolds, I guess.
And how long has Jack Abe been on Days of Our Lives?
A few years now.
I remember when she got cast. I remember going, "Oh, Jack Abe from Sister." I remember her.
Yeah.
Paulina gave Lonnie to her sister. Got it. Okay, thank you, Jeannie. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Kaiwan says the same writer.
He's very dramatic. Jack Abe's so dramatic on there. She's just so full of. She like that all the time.
Oh man, when she was crying into the chest of Wraith last week, and then the slap this week hit it. It just
Yep.
so good, so good. Kaiwan is talking about the writer of General Hospital being the same writer for Days of Our Lives in the 70s. I don't understand what they're quite talking about, but always sharing writers in the world of soaps, I guess, show to show. So it was the people who are running Days of Our Lives now. They previously had been, it's like a Cavallati.
Yeah, the head writer of Days of Our Lives was the head writer of General Hospital for a while.
So, and then he went to Days, and then,
now, though, right?
And then Chris and Dan.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Chris and Dan took over General Hospital, while this Ron person is now running Days. So all of your favorite stories from yesteryear were under this guy's brain, and now he's doing Days. Oh goodness.
Jack A has been on Days since 2021, so not long.
Yeah, 2 years.
And Kat, you'll notice one of the things that's like one of my favorite things that Days does. They do these little Easter egg things, and Paulina's apartment number is 227 on Days of Our Lives because of Jack A being on the show. 227 way back.
Way back in when. I don't know, some sitcom I didn't see, but I like the reference. Oh my gosh, it just stellar. Really, I've enjoyed it very much. I've liked everything, really everything. There really isn't, other than one line that Leo said, there really hasn't been anything that I'm like, this is stupid. I'm looking forward to the baker lady, like kissing a frog and cooking beignets, or I don't know exactly what direction they might be going in with her. I don't know, there was just something about her outside her cart in Salem Square that just made me think of Tiana from Princess and the Frog.
Who's in the Frog, yeah.
I don't know if I'm just being closed-minded about things. I don't know.
Raven's really awesome too.
I'm looking forward to learning more about the hard-ass detective who was drinking on the job. I haven't seen him since he was kicked out of the force.
That's Belle's husband.
Okay, so look at all these connections.
Is Bo and Hope's son.
Bope.
Bope's, yep, one of the super couple son, Sean Douglas Brady. Yep.
All right, well.
Are they currently off the show, or did they just weren't on the last 2 weeks?
No, they are currently off the show. They will be. They're planning on bringing him back, but it's probably at this point not until early next year at some point. So, yeah, because Bo's in a coma.
Well, I hope he wakes up.
Sean accidentally shot him, which is why he's drinking, because he feels bad that he put his father in a coma.
Well, this is the character that really, the last 2 weeks made me think this is a bad person. She's really got some bad capabilities, and that's this woman named Kristen or Christian.
Oh, Kristen DiMera. Oh yeah, she's totally evil.
But she seems quite evil to me. And that little daughter of hers is a bad. Holy smokes!
Rachel is her mother's daughter.
But I really, really enjoy I enjoy all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like bad people on soap operas. I really do.
Exactly.
And she's delicious. I know she's gonna.
Oh.
She got all kinds of underhanded things she's gonna come up with for me to enjoy.
Oh yeah. And I really think they're circling back around to Kristen and Brady, which I'm very excited about, because they have I love the bad girls.
And who is Rachel's dad?
Brady.
But okay.
John Black's son. Yes. Mm-hmm. The picture you saw last week of the little boy.
He pulled a gun on her and got arrested because Rachel
pulled the gun on her. I don't know if Mom saw
and they named him Brady to piss somebody off, kind of like a Spencer thing.
No, it was an homage to the Brady.
Oh, okay. It was a good homage. Okay.
Like Colby. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like Colby.
Oh, that's it. That for me, that's all the information my brain can possibly handle about Days of Our Lives, because there's just still so much that we have to learn, and everything is so connected to history, and so much has led to these moments, which led to these moments, which led to what we're seeing now, that it's almost overwhelming. I'm happy that I'm learning character names.
Remember when we were first talking about this show?
Yeah.
Possibility of doing the show, what you said to me?
No. What'd I say?
You said, but what are we going to talk about after the first month, and I'm all caught up and I know everything?
I guess I'm never going to know everything, am I?
We were so young and innocent.
I'm just a sweet summer child. I don't know anything. Hey, Chandra. Oh, Chandra showed up right at the end. Oh, Chandra, hi.
Hey.
Oh, goodness. I have to stop, though. My brain is going to melt, and I have to think about General Hospital in 45 minutes. So, uh, but what's great about this is I can just, I can do that, and then you guys can keep talking.
It's up to you, Kat. If you want to, we can, or we can reconvene class next week, however you want to do it.
I think I will I'm looking at the time.
We'll reconvene class.
I think I'll reconvene next week where I have a chance to eat something.
Watch some more, eat some coffee, drink some donuts, do whatever it is that you need to do here in the break time between classes.
Yeah.
But that'll be it. Class dismissed, into the syllabus. But join us at 11 a.m. Pacific time, just coming up in 45 minutes right here on the same channel for me and Ma. We're going to cover all of General Hospital. And Angela can have an enjoyable Sunday. Is what she can do.
Yes.
I'll
probably pop into your chat room though, because I like to.
Welcome to do that. Absolutely.
Love you being in our chat room. Are you kidding?
Well, we really appreciate your knowledge. It really helps us not be dumb. Thanks, Jacarius, for 11 Days for Dummies. Yes, it is a time for a potty break for Jeannie. So yeah, absolutely, you guys. So get on out of here. Go hang out with your friends on the quad for a little while, and we'll see you on the in the waiting room at the 10th floor later on. So if you don't join us on the 10th floor, go spend some time with your families. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And I've been Angela.
And we'll catch you next time right here in class for Days or Dummies.
Have a great week, everyone.